This is going to be a historic 6-day visit from 19th to 24th of May, and he starts with Japan and then to Papua New Guinea and Australia, where he will be visiting next. Australia, where US President Joe Biden is not coming. Therefore, this itself in Japan, the meeting will be very significant. The summit will be attended by the G7 countries and FIPIC. FIPIC is the Indo-Pacific Island Cooperation meeting as well. So that means there are going to be many more leaders beyond G7 to be meeting, specifically with regard to Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. 40 engagements or over have been lined up as per a very scheduled itinerary, which means historic visit, but also will be hectic. Will interact with over 24 world leaders. As I said, it's not just about a UK Prime Minister or French President or the US President, but there will be other leaders as well that our Prime Minister will be meeting with. But it is going to have that highlight that usually is when he visits other nations. In Sydney, he will be interacting with the Indian diaspora, and it always means a lot of cultural show, dance, and of course, there will be the interactions that will take place with the Indian diaspora in Sydney, which does have a massive Indian population as well. So I want to come back to Geeta Mohan for the latest on that. Geeta, let's go beyond Japan now, because to visit Papua New Guinea and also Australia. And Australia, I remember talking to you a few days ago when the US President Joe Biden had decided not to go. So how are we looking at these next two nations' visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi?
Well, Pooja, like I just said, the forum for India-Pacific Islands cooperation is going to be a very significant one, because it's going to be jointly hosted by India and Papua New Guinea, and 14 countries have confirmed participation. This certainly creates a space for conversations when it comes to security architecture and protection of the waters of the Pacific Islands. This at a time when we are seeing increased aggression and conflict when it comes to areas, islands, particularly from China. Having said that, on the other hand, we are also looking at security matters and how there are certain countries, certain island nations where China has made very strong inroads. There are conversations that it could lead to a military cooperation, and that's something that does worry not just India, but particularly the United States of America. Remember, President Biden, Pooja, was supposed to travel similar to Prime Minister Modi's itinerary, first to Japan, then to Papua New Guinea, and then to Australia. So the American president is not just giving Australia a miss, he's giving Papua New Guinea a miss as well. But what is more important about PNG is the fact that there was going to be an agreement, according to certain reports, on the military front between PNG and America and the US. And that certainly is not going to happen. That military agreement, if the reports are to be believed, was going to be critical. And we do not know specifically what that entails, but that certainly would have been critical. Australia, again, a very important part. Quad leaders, apart from the United States of America, are certainly going to meet, and Prime Minister Albanese has said that US will be represented by a senior official. So again, let's wait and see whether Antony Blinken will be making his way to Australia or not.
Thank you so much, Geeta Mohan, for the latest and a perspective on this 3-mission tour. Of course, it starts with Japan, very historic. It will be in Hiroshima, but there are 2 other nations that we will be covering. Prime Minister Modi to leave in just a short while. Thank you very much, Geeta.